Besides the fact that I'm extremely struggling to pay my rent every month, you know how I realize that it's really, really bad out here? I live in the hood, okay? I live in the hood. The hood. Garbage everywhere. People's dogs not tied up. Pit bulls running around. Litter, dog poop. People riding bikes. Women of the night down the block. Like, I've been living here for a year and a half. And when I first moved in, it was 100% black. Like, 100% black people. And now, I was just walking my dog and this white guy was like, to me, dead ass. Now, all of a sudden, I've seen at least 4 of the apartments taken by white people. And this is like the cheapest spot in town. Also, some Hispanics have moved in as well. Like, when I first moved in here, there was a white girl that lived here. But I feel like when I realized everything changed, when I seen white men moving in here, I was like, oh shit, it's bad out there. It's bad. And I'm actually scared, guys, for my lease being up in January. I'm very scared. I'm very scared for what's gonna happen. Oh my God, I gotta get out the hood. Please. I'm not gonna be able to afford the hood. They've already raised my rent. They tried to raise it $125. I talked them down to $75. They're definitely gonna raise it again at that. And this is for the hood. No supermarkets, no restaurants, nothing. Like, I don't know, we're just sitting on here on social media talking about it, but it's like, what do we actually do? What are we actually doing? I know it's a little bit all over the place, this video, but it's bad out here, dude. Rent is really bad. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm very scared. I don't want to live in my car, not with 2 dogs.
Rent in the United States has reached crisis levels, and for millions of Americans, the cost of simply having a roof over their heads is becoming impossible to bear. Across major cities and even in smaller towns, the average rent is climbing faster than wages, leaving many working-class people trapped in a cycle of financial stress, housing insecurity, and debt. In 2024, the national median rent hovered around $2,000 per month, but in places like New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and San Francisco, monthly rent for a modest 1-bedroom apartment often surpasses $2,500 or even $3,000. Meanwhile, the federal minimum wage has been stuck at $7.25 an hour since 2009. Even in states where wages are higher, it's still not enough to keep up with the surging cost of rent, groceries, utilities, and transportation.
Yo, what in the actual fuck is going on out here in Cali, man? Last year, my rent was $925. I just opened up this letter, and it says your new rent amount is $2,300 starting on the 1st. No upgrades, no renovations. They didn't even add a fucking washer and a dryer. This is crazy, man. I mean, is everybody else dealing with this? Or am I the only one getting screwed here?
No, because fuck you, America, for making me for making me work 4 fucking jobs! 4 jobs! While I'm in college in rural fucking Tennessee and I can barely pay my own fucking rent and I'm taking 19 credit hours on top of those 4 fucking jobs and I still can't graduate on time and I still can't graduate early even though I'm taking 21 credit hours next semester! It's not fucking fair. It's not fucking fair anymore. It's never been fair, not in my lifetime. And will it ever be fair? No, because I'm a woman in America. Oh my God. I just want to live in peace, America. And I will one day. Probably somewhere fucking else.
So, what's causing this crisis? There's a massive shortage of affordable housing in the U.S., especially in areas where jobs are concentrated. This gives landlords the upper hand, allowing them to raise rent without resistance. While rent has skyrocketed, wages haven't. A full-time worker making minimum wage cannot afford a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the U.S. without spending over 30%, and often up to 50%, of their income on housing. Wall Street and big corporations are increasingly buying up single-family homes and apartment complexes, turning housing into an investment instead of a basic human right. They raise rents for profit, not based on fairness or livability. COVID-19 shook the housing market, and while rents initially dropped in some cities, they have since rebounded aggressively, often higher than pre-pandemic levels. Inflation has only added to the burden, pushing basic living costs through the roof. More and more Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Some are forced to move in with family, live with multiple roommates, or even sleep in their cars. Homelessness is rising, not just among the unemployed, but also among full-time workers who simply can't keep up with the rent.
This is why I shake my head at people when they tell me that we're living outside our means, or that other people are living outside their means, and that we just need to stop buying Starbucks and eating avocado toast, and then we'll be able to buy a house. Prices have more than doubled now, just in the past 2 years. This is why everyone is striking right now. Healthcare workers, restaurant workers, automotive industry, the writers that just got done striking. Because nobody can afford to live anymore. The wages have stayed stagnant, whereas everything else, including basic necessities like groceries and gas and electricity, has gone up exponentially in price. People are scared of how they're going to heat their home this winter. That shouldn't even be a concern in a country as rich as ours. You know what the GOP wants to do? They want to cut funding away from people to help them heat their homes this winter, along with cutting veteran benefits again and cutting programs like WIC and Medicaid. Aren't we already suffering enough?
It sucks, but people are really drowning right now. Looking at the comments for my video about rent prices was like honestly depressing. You know, it's so many people out there that are in these situations, these circumstances where they can't afford their rent. Like some of the prices that people were saying for the square footage that they were getting is insane. And I think this tells us one thing, that a lot of people are struggling financially. And let this be a reminder that you should take what you see on social media with a grain of salt. Somebody just got a new car, they, going on vacations. It's not to say that people can't afford to do these things right now, but just take it with a grain of salt, because most likely they're struggling, they're drowning too. I've even seen people comment down below saying like, oh, should we still be paying 50-50? Should it be the man 100%? And hey, I may tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie, man. Two incomes is more than one, especially during these times. Comment down below what your rent prices are in your city, because people need to see that this is all over. It's not just where you're at.
I heard about all the protests in Mexico City. So apparently they're protesting because a lot of Americans keep moving to Mexico, and now the rent price has increased 47%. Yes, that is unfortunate. However, this got something to do with the Mexican government for allowing these practices to be in place and these greedy ass landlords. This is a rich versus poor issue, not the Americans versus non-Americans. They were saying that some Americans are working from home making U.S. money, but you got to understand, up here in America, the cost of living is too damn high up here as well. They did a few interviews out there in Mexico City, and one man said that he'd be struggling to decide if he want to pay for food, if he could pay for electricity, or water, I think was the third option. We got that same issue up here. Trust me. Trust me. And that's exactly why the government and these greedy ass landlords need to be penalized, because at the very end of the day, just because some people want to migrate to Mexico City, they should not inconvenience the locals. Y'all been living there for God knows how long. Why is the rent going up by 47%? Like I said, it's a rich versus poor issue. We have that same issue up here. And in the Americans' defense, they're moving out there to start a better life, because up here, $3,000 for some damn rent. And then you got to make 3 times that. Your credit score got to be a fucking 50,000. We struggling up here too. Imagine struggling up here in America, and then you move to another country so you can live a better life. And then they jack the rent price up anyway, 47%. Now the people that live in that country, the natives, don't like you because they feel like it's your fault. We can't win for losing, and it's not just us. There's other people from other countries that migrate to the U.S. for a better life, and it don't always work out that way either. They want to cause and create division. They want us to be mad at each other, and we're not the issue. We're not responsible for the rent prices. There was another woman in the interview. She said she feels like right after gentrification, here comes colonization, and she feels like they're going to come and exploit their resources when they run out and start taking all their resources. Don't get me wrong. When Americans get their hands on something, they do be ruining it. And this is coming from an American. But Americans ain't the only ones I've seen touch things that ain't got no business being touched and just being greedy. Once again, a government issue. We need to check our government, and y'all government needs to be checked by y'all as well. These issues all lead up to people in positions of power. The government. Creating division is their specialty. And right now, like I said, this is a rich versus poor issue.
At the end of the day, this isn't just about rising rent. It's about real people. People who work hard, play by the rules, and still can't afford a place to call home. It's about parents choosing between rent and groceries, young adults giving up on independence, and entire families living in fear of eviction. No one should have to struggle this hard just to survive in a country as rich as America. Yet here we are. If this story moved you or reminded you of your own reality, know that you're not alone. And know that more and more people are waking up, speaking out, and making bold choices for a better life, wherever that may be. Let's keep the conversation going. Blackheart, if this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people see it. Speech Balloon, drop a comment below and tell us your story or how rent prices are affecting your life. Loudspeaker, share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth. Round push bin, and don't forget to subscribe to Orbit Point for more powerful content that speaks to real people, real struggles, and real change. Bellhop bell, turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment. This is Orbit Point, where stories like yours matter. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay hopeful.